welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, aka TOCNS. This show's an amalgam of strange, weird, bizarre, off-the-wall, and otherwise things you don't normally see anymore from most news sources these days. During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss, for the most part. For links to those articles, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and today I am joined by... Hello?
Then I'll start. Protoblock.
Thank you. And Brados, apparently his mic is being a goober again. So yeah, we have Brados, Doom Guy, the Slayer himself. Anyway, today is Tears' Day, aka Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. It's really difficult not to say 2022 after a whole year of doing that. Let's jump into the news, shall we? Starting us off here in Rebel News, we have liberals' internal combustion ban could cost up to $100 billion. I don't know why I said it that way. Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault's mandate requiring that Canadians drive electric cars will cost at least $99 billion, new federal figures show, said Blacklock's reporter. It goes on to say here, zero-emission vehicles are expected to generally cost more than non-zero-emission vehicles, and this vehicle price increase could lead to a reduction in the quantity of vehicles purchased. The magnitude of these consumer welfare losses is difficult to estimate. That is a quote according to Blacklock's reporter. Recent analysis completed by the federal government regulatory impact analysis statement found that it was first reported Monday morning by the independent news outlet Blacklock's. Keep talking about Blacklock. So, yeah, the costs were estimated at all of this, as you can see. So, the federal government has outlawed the sale of internal combustion consumer vehicles by 2035. So, get your cars now while you can before the government pigeonholes people into utilizing something that is non-renewable in all actual facts. Because as Dad was talking about the other day, the Golden Loon, the demand for all of these vehicles is going to be outrageous. The ability to manufacture to meet the demand for the supply to be created is almost impossible already. What are we going to do when all of a sudden everybody's batteries start dying at around the same time? Everybody needs new batteries. We can't supply that, and something to do about, to make it cost effective, you have to drive it at least 100,000 miles new, to fully, make effective it or something in some way. I'm going to have to bring him in to talk about that at more length, but, this is not good. So, get your cars now while you can. So, Blob, you have anything to say about that?
Oh yeah, or just hope that the technology for, I don't know what they mean, but for those cars that they want to only have legal, that improves dramatically by 2035, so it's actually useful.
Where will we even be by 2035? That's 12 years away. So, that's a long ways away. The time is going to pass like that, but going through it, not going to feel like it. Well, let's move on up here. More from Rebel News. New York legalizes human composting.
What?
And, I reported on something like this a while ago about California. The new law defines a process as the contained, accelerated conversion of human remains to soil in a structure, room, or other space where decomposition can occur. So yeah, instead of getting buried, cremated, or however else, you are, your remains are dealt with, you have another option here. Human composting, the process of converting human remains into nutrient-dense soil, has been legalized in New York, becoming the sixth state to allow the practice alongside Washington, Colorado, California, Oregon, and Vermont. The move has sparked outrage among religious groups who argue that the process undermines the dignity of the deceased. Governor Kathy Hochul signed legislation over the weekend adding, quote, national organic reduction, end quote, as an acceptable burial method alongside cremation and entombment, as I said. The new law defines the process as the contained accelerated conversion of the human remains to soil, as I read at the head of this. Recompose, a funeral home in Seattle that has promoted the adoption of human composting legislation across the country, claims that their version of the practice requires only 1/8 of the energy used in cremation or conventional burial, as detailed by the Daily Wire. For further reading on this subject matter, please refer to the underbar of the description. The links to all of these articles are down there, so please give it a look. But this is truly horrifying. So.
Well, I think it's fine that if people get to have the choice, but the way I see it, more likely it will become the standard practice sooner or later, and that's what is horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to be buried. I don't know what I want to happen to me. Maybe, like, I don't know. I have this grandiose idea, and I don't want to, like, talk about it on the air yet. So,
I want to be cremated together with some what is it called? Like in ancient times when they gave things with the pharaohs into the grave, like for the afterlife.
Oh, okay. So you want to be like mummified or something, or you want a Viking burial?
Oh, no.
Like
no, cremated, but together with some things.
Okay. So cremated and then entombed.
Well, put into an urn, I guess, and then entombed. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, we'll work out the details. That's an interesting. I haven't heard about that one before. That's pretty cool. Let's move on up here. More from Rebel News. 60 Minutes gives platform to terminally wrong anti-human activist Paul Ehrlich. Jordan Peterson remarked on Twitter, Paul Ehrlich has been famously wrong about everything he has predicted for 6 decades. So, a habitual incorrectness guy. On Sunday night, CBS aired a segment on 60 Minutes featuring Paul Ehrlich, a biologist and author of The Population Bomb, warning about the threat of mass extinction. Speaking to journalist Scott Peely, I cannot pronounce his name, claimed that humanity is no longer sustainable as a species due to our high population, and the rate of extinction is extremely high and continues to rise. He argued that to maintain the current global lifestyle, 5 more Earths would need to be needed, and it is not clear where they would come from. So I remember this is the same guy, I believe I might have been quoting for quite a while, like way back in the day. I used to say, like, the consumption of Earth is 2.5 Earths, and now we're up to 5. Quote, humanity is not sustainable to maintain our lifestyle, yours and mine, basically. For the entire planet, you need 5 more Earths, not clear where they're going to come from, he added. Ehrlich's 1968 book predicted widespread famine and the end of civilization within a decade, but his predictions did not come to pass. However, 60 Minutes continued to present him as a reputable source. Not surprising, 60 Minutes, where they come from. So now they're trying to push this madman. Okay. All right, then. We're going to move on up here. Sorry?
But if he is always wrong and his predictions would come true, would that not mean that he then would be wrong because it would actually come true?
Well, I mean,
Like if you expect him to be wrong, but something actually does come true, then that would,
Well, I mean, eventually it's bound to happen just out of statistics.
I mean, because he's always wrong, then if he once is not wrong, then that would be wrong, essentially.
Okay, so he needs to, like, reverse psychology his predictions. Is
yes.
What you're saying. Okay, I get it. Gonna move on up here to Oddity Central. We have Stonewatch, the world's dumbest smartwatch. Okay. Smartwatch manufacturers are constantly trying to one-up each other with feature-rich devices, but one Japanese company prides itself in making the world's dumbest smartwatch. The Stonewatch is not a smartwatch, it's just designed to look like one. Created by Japanese capsule toy maker Tamakyu, the low-tech accessory doesn't even tell time, let alone feature advanced tech like heart rate measurement or smartphone connectivity. It doesn't even have a display, it's just a glossy black piece of plastic with a silicone band that does nothing but look nice on your wrist. So essentially, it's just a stone on the wrist. It's a bracelet, that's designed to look like a smartwatch. This reminds me of that story we covered a while ago about that fake, smartphone for to get over smartphone addiction, pretend that you're holding one. Like,
Oh my.
what the hell is going on?
Yeah, but we had friendship bracelets back in the day, so essentially they just invented that for people without friends.
Oh, that's really sad. So you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Anyone who wears this has no friends. But we're going to move on up here more from Oddity Central. The world's largest monastic library is also one of the most beautiful. Admont Abbey, a Baroque monastery in Austria, hosts the world's largest monastic library, which also happens to be a stunning work of art. Dating back to the year 1074, when the Benedictine monks of Salzburg decided to found their own abbey in the town of Admont. And Admont Abbey is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the region of Syria. The region of Styria, sorry. And while the entire monastic complex is impressive, the 70-meter-long library is undoubtedly the Abbey's main attraction, featuring flamboyant ceiling frescoes, wooden sculptures, gold busts, gilded bookshelves, and no less than 7 frescoes decorated cupolas. I don't know what those are. This is definitely one of the world's most beautiful libraries. So take a look at that. That is stunning.
Whoa, that is wow.
Yeah, I like to read there.
Lots of books.
Largely regarded as one of the great works of art from the European late Baroque period, because of the way the architecture, sculptures, and frescoes come together to create a visual spectacle, the Admont Abbey Library truly is a sight to behold. Yeah, it really is. I mean, wow, dude, that is glorious. It's like they converted a church to a library, but this is a church library. It's an abbey. Wow.
A Trial-berry.
I would love to visit that. I have got to check that place out. So, let's move on up. Hey, Brados, welcome. How have you been?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, I figured out what was wrong with my mic.
Ah.
All right.
I had to turn it off and turn it back on again, like an IT guy.
Yeah. Reminds me of the IT crowd. Hello, IT. Have you turned it on it again? However they say it.
Yeah.
Well, we have here, from the Mirror, we have an exclusive. Quote, "My unborn baby saved my doctor after doctors found a 4-inch tumor next to my heart," end quote. So
It's that saved my life, not saved my doctor.
What?
You said saved my doctor. It said saved my life.
My unborn baby saved my life after doctors found 4-inch tumor next to my heart. Maybe I did misread it, I don't know. But it says here, a new mom says her unborn baby saved her life because pregnancy symptoms caused docs to discover an 11 centimeter cancerous tumor next to her heart. A first-time mom struggling with breathlessness in pregnancy went to a hospital where docs discovered she had a huge tumor next to her heart. Zoe Plastiers, at the age of 23, was 32 weeks pregnant when she was told to go to A&E by 111 because of repeated breathlessness and a cough. At hospital on September 10th last year, 2022, she was given an X-ray which later led to the diagnosis of an 11-inch centimeter cancerous tumor in her chest cavity. As those symptoms were minimal, the doctors were willing to hold off invasive procedures until her baby was born the following month. So, and right here you can see that's her heart and that's a tumor. So it's as big as her heart. She had a tumor in her chest as big as her heart. Holy crap, dude.
Ooh.
And it looked like it was pushing the heart down and shit. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's horrible.
At least it didn't spread it into the heart, because that would
is
have
good.
been lethal.
It's a relief it didn't.
Yeah, and her child saved her life. So that's a very rare occurrence. I wonder how many times a child, be it unborn or freshly born, because I myself, as an infant, was saved by my mom multiple times. Not my birth mom, but the mom who eventually went on to raise me and all that stuff. So anyway, let's move on up here more from the Mirror. Does anybody want to take one for a little bit?
Oh, I just wanted to say we also did some research, and what we found points out that the story by the Mirror is probably true.
Yes, as Blob was telling me prior to the show, the Mirror is apparently a tabloid. Now, I don't pay attention to these things, although I probably should. But you can't do background research on every little thing. Every little source, you'll go insane. So
yeah.
So from here on out, everything from the Mirror, we just gotta take with a grain of salt, and just gotta focus on the news stuff, not the tabloidy things. And I have noticed there's a lot of celebrity, rigmarole stuff in the Mirror. So now that makes a lot more sense. They are tabloidy. So.
But as far as we found, their news reporting is usually accurate.
Yeah. But would someone mind taking this article here?
I'll take it. If you guys can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I
okay.
should have
Okay,
my screen up. So.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because you didn't say anything, so I was just like, huh?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to start. You said I'll take it, so I'm like, go. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, woman, 72, forced to wait 13 hours in an ambulance, but vows to support striking workers. An ambulance was called to their home early on a Sunday afternoon after Kathleen Phillipson, who suffers from a COPD and had COVID, developed a fast heartbeat. She waited 13 hours outside the hospital. Darren Phillipson's 72-year-old mom, Kathleen, spent a miserable 13 hours stuck in an ambulance on a hospital forecourt as the crew waited to hand her over to the doctors. He and his mom remain fully behind the strikes, otherwise the government simply won't listen, he says. Quote, we began the wait in the ambulance as a priority patient, but by the end felt like completely and utterly forgotten, end quote, said Darren. You can see age 45, a transport administrator who lives with his mom in Solihull, I believe, and traveled with her to the hospital that day.
And I'm going to interrupt real quick. I'm not sure if it gets into this, because there's a lot in this article, and I didn't do any prior research because I'm lazy. But no, this is a normal occurrence, actually. There's a law that was recently passed in England or in London or somewhere in there. That something to do with the time, I don't know the exact, because my dad's talked to me about this a couple times, the Golden Loon. So we're gonna have to touch base again on this. I'm gonna have to talk to him about this, and we might have to bring this up during the news show tomorrow or something. But there's some law that was passed in that area that is forcing people to wait and stuff. And there's also all those strikings. As it said, all the strikes. There's a lot of emergency personnel, people, their unions are striking and all that stuff, and that's drastically reduced the amount of people who actually, can work in the emergency response teams, like the ambulance drivers, the paramedics, police, firefighters, stuff like that. But this is specifically involved around healthcare, so there's literally there's lines of ambulances outside of every hospital just waiting, to be taken in because of some stupid new bureaucratic rule or something. I'm gonna have to bring him in on this. But it is awful. 72 years old, 13 hours, stuck in the back of a van. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's 3 hours longer than our show on Saturday. Hell.
And you're gonna think it's what
Yeah.
in the world are they doing?
We're gonna move on up here to UPI, better known as OOPI. Hand sanitizer caught fire in Los Angeles parking lot. Okay.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jeez.
It turned into a volcano. Oh my God.
What a bunch of meatheads. Whoever put those there were not very smart.
That's not only a hand sanitizer, I guess.
It says here,
molten lava.
firefighters in Los Angeles battled an unusual blaze when several pallets of hand sanitizer caught fire in a parking lot. The Los Angeles Fire Department said crews responded to what was initially thought to be a trash fire Monday afternoon in a downtown parking lot, but the firefighters soon discovered the small blaze was actually caused by several pallets of hand sanitizer. Quote, the product is confirmed to be hand sanitizer, which is clean burning, the department said in an alert. The safest operation is to allow the product to burn off while ensuring it does not damage any vehicles, end quote. Firefighters said they prevented the flames from spreading to nearby vehicles and that no injuries were reported. So just a bunch of pallets of hand sanitizer just randomly caught fire.
Okay.
Just a random event.
Well, you don't know if it's randomly.
Is that snow? No, it has to be sanitizer foam or something. Or maybe an explosion. What is all that? Oh, no, that's retardant foam. Okay. I see. Yeah, they're spraying the cars right there. There it is, right there. So they're fire retardating the area around it so it doesn't spread. Good move. So,
Yeah, good
Smart.
if anyone knows how to fight fires, it's Californians. Tell you what, every year half
Tell
the
you
state
what,
goes
they
up.
also missed a spot. They kind of sort of missed a spot there.
Well, like, I think they're getting to it.
I mean, I get it.
Like, you want
Yeah.
to save the immediate... The cars were closer, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, no, I wouldn't want cars getting caught on fire first.
Yeah.
See, they went about it smart. They covered the more dangerous spot of it first, and then they're working towards
Yeah.
fixing up the other part of it.
Well, dang. We got
man.
another one from UPI. Blob, do you want to take one?
Okay. Idaho man stomps 100 balloons in 22.38 seconds.
What?
Whoa.
Let's watch
That's
this
impressive.
here. It wasn't that fast. All right, come on. Well, while that loads, let's read the article here.
All right. On January 3rd, the article was written. An Idaho man with with more. I think that means more than
Yeah.
250 Guinness World Records titles. Unofficially broke another record when he used his feet to pop 100 balloons in 22.38 seconds. David Rush. Oh, it's David Rush
Yeah,
again.
we talked about this guy, David Rush. This is the T-shirt guy and everything, I think, right?
Yeah,
The folded shirts and the hang shirt. Wow.
So it's a living legend. David
Yeah.
Rush, who has broken more than 250 Guinness World Records to promote STEM education. He set up 100 balloons in a line and stomped on them to break the record for fastest time to burst 100 balloons with the feet. So if you support him, go into STEM education.
Yeah. You can't hush the
Rush-
rush.
Rush said it took him 5 attempts to successfully pop all 100 balloons with a time of 22.38 seconds, breaking the previous record of 24.98 seconds, which was set by Muhammad Yasir Mushtaq of Pakistan in February 2022.
Wow, so... Dang.
What a rush!
Yeah, let's watch this here. So he's getting them all in a line there. Here we go.
Oh, he just walks over
so
them.
he's doing 2 by 2, I see. Oh, he missed a couple.
Big
Go,
brain.
go, 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 come on, come on, come on, rush it, rush it, rush it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. He's almost there. He's almost there.
Let's
Oh, he missed a
go.
couple. Oh, no, no. Dude, if he hadn't fumbled, he would have easily made it under 20 seconds. man.
There's room for improvement. Like he
Yeah.
can do it in 20 seconds probably.
Easy 20 seconds. Like,
And that is the world record?
yeah.
Wow. He
Yeah.
could have. Oh, he could. If he doesn't fumble, he could easily improve it by several seconds.
Yeah. So, you can't hush the rush. And look, we're probably going to be talking about this again at some point, probably in the near future, or I don't know. Like, maybe we should go for it, huh? Like, get the Omni Coalition, get some recognition in the Guinness World Records. That'd be interesting. So, let's move on up here. We have another article from UPI. Pennsylvania couple marked their 80th wedding anniversary. Wow. That is a rarity
Whoa.
indeed. Oh, wow. A Pennsylvania couple who are both 102 years old celebrated an even more rare
Wow.
milestone, their 80th wedding anniversary. So they were both 22 when they got married. Robert and Eddie McSham, who met in high school in 1936 and married in 1942, celebrated that anniversary on December 26th last year. Quote, "We held each other up," end quote, Edith May told WGAL-TV. Another quote, "I guess the secret would be don't go to bed mad," end quote, Robert added. Yes, never go to bed mad. Never, never, never. The Guinness World Record for longest marriage stands at 86 years, 290 days. It was set by Herbert and Zelmira Fisher, whose marriage lasts until Herbert Fisher's death in 2011. So, you guys have another, 6, almost 7 years. You're already at 102, so that's going to make you, almost 110. It's been done before. Let's keep an eye on these guys. These guys might make, some insane history here,
Also, interesting fact, the 80th wedding anniversary has no name in the United States, but in the United Kingdom it is called Oak.
Huh, Oak?
Yes.
Like the tree?
And if they make it to the 85th anniversary in the United States, it is called Moonstone.
Huh.
And in the United Kingdom it is called Wine.
Alright, well, if you can find some links, to explain where those come from, that'd be really awesome. Because that's weird. Oak? Why oak?
Oh, those are the traditional anniversary gifts.
Oh, so at the 80th anniversary, you give your wife an oak tree? What the hell? That's weird.
I don't think it's a complete tree.
Oh. Blob, you dirty-minded guy.
What?
My brain went south.
Yeah, it did.
I think you are the only one whose brain went south.
Well, you said it wasn't a whole tree.
Yeah.
So I just thought of some other wood.
Some morning.
Oh my god. No.
Quite a good morning.
I'm bad.
Let's continue before we get demonetized.
We're going to have a story here from NPR. An airline worker died after being ingested into the engine of a plane, NTSB says. Wow.
Got eaten.
An airline ground crew worker in Alabama died after being ingested into the engine of a parked plane on Saturday, said the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB. In a statement provided to NPR, the NTSB said it was open to it has opened an investigation into the death. The incident involved an Embraer 170 aircraft, a medium-range jet that can hold about 70 passengers, which had flown from Dallas-Fort Worth to the Montgomery Regional Airport. The victim, whose name has yet to be released, was employed by Piedmont Airlines, a subsidiary of American Airlines that operates at more than 80 airports. Neither company responded to NPR's request for comment. So, sounds to me like he got sucked into the engine. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody was saying something about, some actor or somebody, who got sucked into the engine.
No, before the show, I said chess master Agnes Stevenson in 1935. She was, she ran into a propeller and died that way.
Oh. So she got Indiana Jones'd, essentially.
Yeah, like that one, like the one guy that Indy was fighting.
Yeah, the big buff guy, and then he just got chewed up by that propeller.
Chonky German boy.
Yeah. Anyway, we got another from NPR. An inflection point for goats. Please quit these banished words moving forward. What the hell? Just out of curiosity, I selected this story. I have no idea what we're getting into here. When was the last time you called someone a goat, or declared an inflection point, or answered a yes or no question with absolutely? Well, this sounds like a daily thing for Brados here. So, probably too recently, say the faculty of Lake Superior State University, the Michigan college that releases an annual list of words that they say deserve to be banished for vocabularies or over misuse, overuse, and uselessness. Quote, our nominators insisted and our arts and letters faculty judges concurred that to decree the banished words list 2023 as the GOAT in tantamount to gaslighting. Does that make sense? In quotes, said Rodney S. Hanley, the university president, in a very serious statement announcing the new list. So this is a. Oh, so yeah. So this is all a word. This is a list of offensive words for one reason or another. Like goat, inflection point, quiet quitting, gaslighting, moving forward, amazing. Does that make sense? Irregardless, absolutely. It is what it is. Oh, oops, I said them all. Oh, wee woo, wee woo. So.
Does that make sense?
It's just people who are getting butthurt over words, essentially. Like, oh, this word hurts. Everybody, stop using this word. It makes me cry. Wah. You know, grow up.
So let's say someone doesn't know about that list and just uses it in a non-derogatory context. They get banned from that. Oh, the name superior. I think that's racist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, superior.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's start to university. Oh, like
University doesn't
state, huh?
being just Oh
wait, hashtag water lives matter. Why are you lake? Why not ocean or stream or babbling brook? Huh?
Yeah, that sounds whoa. I think we found something here. Also in my opinion, just saying, but James Holzhauer is one of the greatest of all time. I don't know why I think about that when I read the word goat.
He's a Billy Goat.
Oh, I see Nibiru is near. Nice to see you posting vids. Keep it up. Thank you, Nibiru is near. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate the view. Let's move on up here. We have another article from NPR. Why scientists dug up the father of genetics, Gregor Mendel, and analyzed his DNA. Okay, why did they do that? So,
they wanted to find out if he's human or if he's a reptilian.
Ah, that makes sense.
He's a snake.
Blob, you want to take this one?
All right. When the man known as the, quote, father of genetics, unquote, turns 200, how do you celebrate? By digging up his body and sequencing his DNA, of course. That's what a team of scientists in the Czech Republic did this year to celebrate Gregor Mendel, a scientist and friar whose experiments in the mid-1800s laid the groundwork for modern genetics.
Let's see here. Let's read this section here.
All right. A crazy idea becomes reality. At first, that's Sharka Pospishilova, says the idea of analyzing Mendel's genes seemed crazy. Still, Pospishilova went around to different specialists at the university to ask what might be possible. I asked the anthropologists who had experiences with analysis of remains, can you please not hide the half sentence, of historical persons, I guess, she recalls. She consulted with archaeologists as well. Exhuming Mendel from his grave in Brno, that's Brünn in German, and running genetic tests on his remains turned out to be a doable project, so long as they could get permission from the Augustinians. That's the religious order that Mendel belonged to and with which he remains. The Augustinian tomb in the city's central cemetery was thought to contain Mendel's body.
Yeah, and it continues on here. Local religious leaders consulted with Augustinians in Prague, their bishop, and finally Augustinians in Rome. Eventually, permission was granted. So they will be sequencing this guy's DNA. That's really cool. He's the father of genetics, and now he gets to have his genetics fathered. Yeah, full circle. You know? Cool.
Sweet.
We have another one from NPR. Facing an energy crisis, Germans stock up on candles. Are you stocking up on candles?
No.
You probably should be. So.
You better be.
I hope not.
You better be.
It says the candle boom began during the pandemic after the government imposed lockdowns and Germans began spending a lot more time at home. The industry expected the boom to end once the nation opened back up. But Thurman says, quote, oh, that was all Yeah, that was a quote, I think. But then the war in Ukraine started. Oh, that was a quote. However, this summer, Russia cut gas flows to Germany, claiming a major gas pipeline in the Baltic Sea needed maintenance work. Then in September, part of the same pipeline mysteriously exploded. What a surprise. Officials are still debating how and why that happened. Whatever the reason, the spigot of Russian gas into Germany has now been shut off almost completely. Germany is now on a mission to transform its energy economy and reduce its gas consumption. The nation is making real progress on that front, but our sources make clear that many Germans remain anxious about high energy prices and the possibility of shortages and power outages. Their response to this has included apparently buying lots of candles. So, yeah, you might want to get on this. It sounds like Germany is going to have a candle form of the whole toilet paper thing we had out in the States in early 2020. Remember that, Brados?
Candledemic.
Oh
yeah, I remember that. That was funny because I was working at a Giant at the time. I kid you not. Do you know what they gave us as a gift basket? They gave us toilet paper.
Yeah.
We got 4 rolls of premium toilet paper.
Dude, that's awesome. I remember.
I was like, oh my.
I remember there was like some small, like it wasn't like a Pizza Hut or a Papa John's or anything. I think it was like more of a smaller store, a medium sized like company.
Mm-hmm.
But they started selling toilet paper alongside pizzas to add to your delivery. Yeah, and then that was back when I was working as a Grubhub driver and everything. And there's this Greek restaurant. I forgot what it was called, but it's out in the Old Town out here, and they started selling their back stock, like toilet paper, sanitizer, like food products and stuff like that, ingredients, things like that, again, and I have this recorded actually on my channel somewhere. But as the guy who said as I was interviewing him, to give back to the community while still keeping the lights on, And I actually bought a dozen. I bought a half a dozen, and then later on I bought another half dozen. But I actually shipped it to family I have out in Arizona because they couldn't really get toilet paper. Everything was completely out, and they are like they don't have a car or anything, and they're kind of on the outskirts of town. So I literally, through the post office, shipped twice toilet paper, 6 rolls each time to friends out in Arizona. Or family out in Arizona. Yeah.
Rather strange item to be sending.
I know, right? You'd never think. But 2020 was a nutty year, and, when things go crazy, the crazy get going.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Anyway, let's move on up here. We got another AP News. Brados, do you want to talk about Florida Man?
Oh, yeah, we got Florida Man. Yeah! Florida sheriff. Burglars call 911 to get help moving stuff.
What? Say, oh yeah, Popo, we're robbing somebody. Can you help us out? Help a brother out, bro. We need a U-Haul.
Poinciana, Florida. Or, well, Florida. Parenthesis, AP, in parenthesis. 2 people in Florida were arrested after one of them made a 911 call to get help with moving their belongings from a home they were burglarizing, authorities said. Deputies responded to a home Saturday after a 911 call was made, but nobody spoke. The Polk County Sheriff's Office said, at the home, the deputies concluded that nobody lived there, but they found a male suspect and his girlfriend inside the home after entering it through an unlocked door. Deputies had been searching for the male suspect after identifying him from a security video as a burglar at a Dollar General store in Poinciana, in Florida, where several items were stolen earlier in the day. The sheriff's office said in a statement, Poinciana is about 35 miles or 55 kilometers south of Orlando.
Yeah, it continues on. While talking to deputies, the female suspect told them that she had called 911 for the purpose of having law enforcement help them move their belongings from the house they were burglarizing. They also wanted to get rid of they also wanted to get a ride to the airport so they could spend the weekend in New York. The sheriff's office said, "Wow, like So Florida man and woman. So Florida couple. So we know a Florida woman. She's crazy, but she's not stupid. You know, like this is just ridiculous. So, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on up from AP News. Masters invitation goes to the wrong Scott Stallings. Uh-oh. So Scott Stallings received an invitation to the Masters, and the Georgia resident most likely will be there as a guest of the PGA Tour player by the same name for whom the coveted invitation was intended. Whoops. Stallings, who qualified for the Masters by reaching the Tour Championship last year, didn't realize what had happened until the other Scott Sterling sent him a series of messages on Instagram alerting him to the mail mix-up. Quote, "Hi Scott, my name is Scott Stallings as well, and I'm from Georgia. I don't know why they're doxing. I received a FedEx today from the Masters inviting me to play in the Masters tournament April 6th through 9th, 2023. I am 100% sure this is not for me," end quote. Yes! So, whoopsie doozles. But that's pretty cool to get caught up in something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Scott Sterling being mistaken for Scott Sterling.
Huh. It's Scott Sterling! I want to have a house made out of that man's face, because then I'll be safe in any nuclear holocaust. And then, for our last but not least story of the day, one more from AP News. No cash, no bank heist in Denmark. Criminals now go online. For the first time in years, Denmark hasn't recorded a single bank robbery. There wouldn't have been much point. Cash transactions in the Nordic country have become virtually obsolete, with Danes increasingly opting to use cards and smartphones for payments. The Danish Bank Employees Union on Tuesday welcomed the news that 2022 had been robbery-free. Quote, "It's just amazing because robberies put an absolutely extreme strain on the affected employees every time they happen," end quote, spokesman Steen Lund Olsen said in the statement. Yes, it is true. Finance Denmark, the banking sector association, said only about 20 bank branches across the country have cash holdings, but then the number of bank branchings has fallen from 219 in 1991 to 56 in 2021, it said. News reports noted that cash withdrawals in Denmark have been dropping by about 3/4 every year for the past 6 years. In 2000, 221 bank robberies were recorded, Finance Denmark said. In 2021, there was just one. So, that is the upside of having a cashless society, but the downside is now somebody has control over whether or not you even have access to your money. They could be like, "Oh, your card doesn't work," or "Oh, we don't like you, your bank account is canceled," like what they did to Mike Lindell, you know? So, danger, danger. So, but then, unless anybody has anything else to say, anybody? Well, all right.
Only that we put, I prepared 2 links to put in the underbar. So.
Oh, you did? All right. Well, I will, let's see. I will do that after the show. So let's close this out here. That'll conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar in the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of different, odd, and otherwise unknown news, we stream Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 3 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Central,
and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And 7 p.m. German time. No, wait, 11.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I am the Slayer.
And I'm Protoblob.
And you, of course, are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, or if you are interested in history, we have a history show every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time. Anyway, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Toodle.
Toodle.